Hello everyone, welcome to DM Car Reviews. Today we have a 2023 Nissan Maxima SR on our channel. I'd like to thank Sheehy Nissan of Manassas and especially Misha for providing me this car. I will attach all the links and information down below. Anyway, let's get started. This is one special car, personally for me. It was my college commuter back in the day. I was the first person in my college to have this body style when it came out. When I look at this car, I get so many memories and flashbacks to my past. It's been a very reliable car for these years that I had it. I put almost 50,000 miles on it, and I've never, not once, had any issue with the Maxima. It has been spectacularly reliable. I even had original rotors, original tires, had to replace nothing. Let's look at the hazards. The newer generation got the LED rear lights, and they do look better in my opinion than the pre-facelift lights, but that's a matter of taste and preference. This is the rare case where the restyle looks more sexy and spectacular than its previous body design. The only thing that I wish Nissan kept was this badge. The 2017 and 16 models, they had this big thick badge in silver, and it looked so much more expensive. Anyways, let's take a peek inside, look at the car. So right away, when you open the door to this cabin, you will notice high quality materials all over the car. So starting from the door panels to the armrests, you will find soft touch stitched material everywhere. I love this dark aluminum trim. We have orange stitched seats. The seats here are supportive and comfortable. Nissan calls them NASA zero gravity seats. They do come with different adjustments, up, down, lumbar support. We have this flat bottom steering wheel. Let's sit in the back. So same here. Again, high quality materials everywhere. So I'm sitting right behind myself. I'm 6'2". As you can see, there's plenty of space. This is probably right for your phone, I'm guessing. Boom. Got our 2 cup holders. A USB-C and a regular USB charger, rear climate vents, pockets, and a panoramic sunroof. We do have a big size trunk. You can fit in at least 3 suitcases in there, like medium to large, and go on a trip. Space is not an issue in this car. As far as the difference between the Altima and the Maxima dimension-wise inside, they are very similar in space. So if you think that this is a larger car, it's not. It actually is about the same as the Altima, but this feels much more premium than an Altima, and it's a shame that Nissan has killed off this car for the future year, because I think this is Nissan's signature mid-size premium sedan, and it's sports inspired. It's called the 4DSC. They used to have like a sticker here too. Okay, let's jump in and go for a drive. Also, one more thing we forgot, to check out the engine bay. Let's check it out too. So under the hood we have a 3.5 liter VQ 35 with 300 horsepower. It's a stellar, reliable engine. It's been in Nissan for many years, and it's made it to a CVT. We will talk more about the CVT when we drive. I will share some of my impressions and just overall thoughts about this transmission, because there's always a lot of questions and arguments going on about these gearboxes. Well, let's fire her up. We have automatic seat adjustments, which move us up to our safe position. The cabin is welcoming. It makes you feel like you're in a cozy coffee shop. You put on that seat and the steering wheel warmer, and you relax. The V-shaped design is an excellent solution, because if this was a circle wheel, I'd be hitting it with my knee. But here I don't. There's a lot of space. The paddle shifters are huge. They are probably one of the biggest ones I've seen in any modern car, and they are fixed to the column, so they don't move with the wheel. We have a small LCD center display in the middle. You can get a lot of information here, starting from your speed, your music. It will also show you navigation here, like turn by turn, as it would on a heads-up display in similar cars. Unfortunately, the Maxima does not come with a heads-up display, but because the gauges are so easy and clear to read, you don't really need one. The display hasn't changed much from 2016. It's become more clear, more responsive, and it's more functional. So you can actually zoom in, zoom out, zoom in, and you can use also this joystick right here, this knob. I do like that Nissan has kept these physical buttons here where you can adjust all your needed information. So we have navigation, we have a 360-degree parking camera. I think that is a great touch to have in a car under $50,000. The only thing with the camera that I wish it was a little more crisp, but beside that, it's still easy to use. You can see what you got to see. Great solution. We have a dual zone climate control with auto climate. All the gauges and all the information is super easy to read. You can see it immediately. You got your weather, even stocks, fuel prices, home menu, map, audio. This car is equipped with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. We also have a Bose audio system all around the car. We have blind spot monitoring, the Nissan lane keeping aid, auto collision braking systems. So basically a standard suite of safety options that you would get in a modern car. Here's our glove box. Here's another glove box. We got our outlet. Here are sport traction off buttons. We have memory seats, front automatic windows. And one more thing that I like about the SR over the other trims is this suede Alcantara inside the cabin. On the seats, this is actually perfect for those of you who live in cold climates or very hot climates, because in the winter this material doesn't feel cold, and in the summer it doesn't feel hot, and your back will not sweat. All right, so let's get going. There's always been a big dilemma with Nissans about CVTs and should you buy a CVT equipped car. I will be honest and say that this is one of the best CVT equipped cars you can buy today. Thanks to the powerful and torquey engine, it hides all the rubber band effects, all the annoying noises of a generic CVT, and it just feels like a torquey rocket. You get instant response with this transmission. Instant. There's no delay, no lag. You press it and you go. And you get that growl. Great combination. And while it doesn't give you the feeling of shifts, it does have its advantages in fuel economy. I was actually able to get 38 miles to the gallon on cruise control at 64 miles an hour when I was driving my Maxima on long distances. So the Maxima that I had, I took it literally everywhere. It has seen the worst roads of Baltimore, the worst roads of DC for a good few years. And never, ever in all these years did my Maxima put me in a situation where I thought I was going to be in trouble or it would break down. No, never. It was a stellar, reliable car. Even when I traded it in, the interior and the exterior were flawless. It had original tires, was still running on original tires, still had original rotors, everything. The only thing that I had to do with the maintenance was filter, oil change, that's all. Nothing else. Over time, in some cars, especially the older ones, you would feel a little bit of a judder in the CVTs at low RPMs. But in the newer ones, I see that Nissan has actually adjusted that, and the RPMs are generally in a higher zone. Because at 1500, 1200, you would get this little vibration feeling, but that only came around like 40-something thousand. But luckily now, Nissan has changed the software, and that problem is completely gone. I like these wipers that Nissan includes in their cars. They're thick and look super nice on the dashboard, like on the windshield. There's just something about them that I like. And thanks to the CVT, there's instant response. The throttle inputs are instantaneous. So just a little tap on the throttle, and you're going. What a nice feature. Because in a lot of modern turbo cars, depending on which one we're talking about, if you add some gas a little bit, they think for a little bit and then they start to go. They downshift, they go. But here, we're up and running. And this is not even sport mode, this is comfort mode. As far as the steering goes, for front-wheel drive, it's a super precise handling car. You move the wheel a little bit and immediately the car responds and goes exactly in the direction you want it to go. So with this car, you can absolutely take some corners on back roads and you'll feel just fine. It will feel planted, safe, secure. And having driven a Maxima myself, as I already mentioned in this video, I know how good the car handles in turns. You'd be surprised how good it stays on the road for a heavier sedan like this. And it's a long car too. We also have our USB port right here in the USB C and AUX. So now let's talk about the suspension and the brakes. How do they feel? So the suspension here is stiffer than a regular Maxima because this is the sporty SR trim, but it's still comfortable. You feel the road, but you feel it very mildly. But thanks to this stiffer suspension, you get the better, more immediate steering inputs. And you can feel the car's handling more. It feels natural, and you get used to it super quickly. The visibility is good on all sides. I don't see any blind zones, so if I turn my head, I can see all that's around me. We have a mirror with home link. I believe this is, it may be auto dimming, I'm not sure, we have to check that, but the Maxima that I had, it had auto dimming mirror. As far as the brakes go, they are solid. They have quick input response. They're not super firm, but you just got to tap them in a little bit and then a little more, and you get a good strong stop. So you don't have to like press them in really hard. And I think this is ideal for a comfortable mid-size sedan because you don't want it to be overly sporty. Well, those are my main impressions of this car so far. We're gonna keep going on our drive, so no more talking from my side. We will try out sports mode, paddle shifters, go to Mexico to check out the performance of this Maxima, and I will wrap up my summary. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. So we just got back from Mexico, got some numbers in. So let me share my overall impressions about this Maxima. For its segment, this has to be my favorite sedan. This is way more fun to drive than an Avalon or any other car that you can think of. Charger, Avalon. I love the way this car holds the road and how stable and planted it is. There's virtually no torque steer here, unlike the Avalon, and it's very good controllable power. So you're able to dose the right amount of power that you need without going too crazy. The materials are high quality. The infotainment is easy and intuitive to use. The seating position is good. So overall, I really like this car, and I highly recommend it. In 2023, it's still super accurate, still super modern. There's absolutely nothing else in this class that puts on such a big smile on my face from driving it at all. And the transmission in this car is much more responsive and quick versus the 8-speed in the Avalon. The Asen 8-speed, that is such a sluggish transmission. If you're going 30 and you floor it, oh, it's gonna be so laggy and slow. Because I remember driving a Highlander with that transmission, and if I was going 40 and I gave it gas, it would not have that same pickup. It would start spinning out, and eventually we'd be up at speed. The only thing that I also noticed in the Maxima is when you're driving for say 70 to 80 miles an hour, you will notice that your RPMs are going to sit much higher than in a conventional automatic transmission. So at 80 miles an hour, you will be looking at about maybe 2,500 RPM. Let's see. So if we're going 58, 16. Let's check the RPMs, because that does create a little sound and you can feel the engine a bit more when driving like that. So to some drivers it may be annoying. That is just one thing to look out for when you get this car. So if we're going 65 and we let off, we're going to be at 2100. Because in a conventional automatic, you're going to be at around 1800, 1700. But that's really all. That's the only thing that I noticed. And I've noticed in my Maxima too. Otherwise, amazing car. Amazing car. I highly, highly recommend it. Well, thank you so much for joining today on our test drive. Well, thank you so much for joining our test drive today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Would you get this car? Would you prefer a competitor, and why? Thank you again.